Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Thanks for joining us on the Coffee Ann program here on Monday morning. It's July 17th. It is time for Coffee Ann. I'm Joe Callahan. And with me at the Coffee Ann table, let's say good morning and hello to Romeo Berthium.
Good morning.
How are you, Romeo?
I'm good. How are you, Joe?
Doing all right, thank you. Dave Rich is sitting right over there. Hi, Dave.
I'm imitating Melissa Murray while she seats herself.
Doing a fine job as well. And there's Melissa Murray. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning. You look just like me, Dave.
Thank you. Glasses.
Glasses.
Well, the dark hair problem. Your hair's still dark. Mine's not as dark as it used to be.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Before we send Dave on our way, let's get a brief update. You made it no rain on Friday night for the show at 11 a.m. It looked like it was going to rain all week, and even Friday morning. Oh, gee, do we move it inside? I don't know. What do we do?
Friday morning, we got up to a National Weather Service flood watch.
That's right.
With a forecast of 1 to 2 inches of rain.
Yeah.
And it just fizzled. By midday, it was down to a 50-50 chance of rain, and then it got better as the afternoon went on. When Meg Rigo had to make the call, and by the way, speaking of the call, beautiful story in yesterday's Woonsocket call. There's a picture of
Beautiful.
Angie Kay.
Yeah,
Singing
wonderful.
at the concert on Friday night. Joe Nato did a fine job there. We even got on the front page of the call. See, there's the ONTV trucks in there. As they took
really
a
look
picture
for
of
it.
the audience. We were in the back of the audience. But seriously, in Joe Nato's story, Meg gave me far too much credit. All I do is feed her with all the weather information and interpret it for her. She makes the call. She said, or according to the article, I gave the go-ahead for the show. Please don't believe that, folks. Please don't believe that.
I didn't know you had that much power, Dave.
I don't give anything like that. All I do is, I got all the gizmos because we own the radio and the TV here. So we got all the gizmos. We're looking at all the different possible weather maps and predictions and computer studies and everything else. It's all around us on all the big screens. And so all I do is I communicate that to her because she wouldn't have any reason to know that. All she has is the stuff you get on your phone, which is like AccuWeather. It is to laugh. And things like that, who really don't have any skin in the game, so they don't really care about an accurate forecast. But this was a nail-biter, Joe.
Yeah.
And what happened to 11 amp week 5 last Friday makes a person religious. It really does. Because it like God smiled on us. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I know big enough to take all that rain and throw it off to the side. And it really did a nice job. So we're very, very lucky that way. Had a gorgeous big crowd on Friday night there. A lot of people enjoying themselves, and it was a great concert. And so hopefully we can do all this 5 more times.
That's right.
Because we've got 5 more concerts in the park.
This coming Friday, the Young Dubliners, Celtic Rock.
Oh, you know,
Looking forward to this.
you know, it's that's one group, you know, that I think people are going to take to, no matter what your opinion is. Obviously, I know there's an entire segment of society that it get a little nauseous thinking about sitting there for an hour and a half listening to Irish tunes with the fiddle and the rest of that stuff, like Bing Crosby used to make and Dennis Day. And you won't be listening to. No, it's not that. These guys are they know how to play rock, and they take some of those old songs and a bunch of new songs and just play some really outstanding rock and roll with them. So they're going to entertain you there. And before that, returning artist, Rhode Island artist, a lady who can sing out the blues, and she does not ever advertise herself this way, but hardly anyone I know listens to Julie Rhodes and doesn't
so
have a
good.
flashback of Janis Joplin.
Really?
She's
Serious.
That
so
close?
good. Yes.
Yeah. And she's from Rhode Island. She performs all around southern New England. She's an amazing
She's been in
lady.
Levitt before, right?
She has.
Okay, I remember
In
that name.
fact, in our promotional announcement, which you'll be hearing later in the day, because I'm still polishing it up, in the promotional announcement, I don't use a studio recording. of Julie Rhodes. I used her performance on stage in Levitt
Oh, yeah.
in June. No, it was August, early August of 2019, when she was on stage with us last.
Great.
And that's the one we're using for the promotional announcement this week.
All right, very well. Thanks for the update, Dave. And I'm glad
You're
things
welcome,
went
Joe.
went on Friday. That's
May I
fantastic.
go?
You can. You're dismissed.
You can talk about important things with our
Okay.
important guests.
All right. Should we do the sad story first?
Oh no. Okay.
It's really, you're not gonna like it, Melissa.
All right. You can do a sad story, and then I have a story of my own because I think I know what the sad story is about. Go for it.
This is about the. There was a dog at
I
Bally's
do.
Twin River that was discovered Friday night, dead inside the car.
Oh.
Someone allegedly drove to Twin River, locked the dog in the car, windows up, no AC, no water, went inside to have whatever he did inside.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not.
How could someone not know
I
what was
don't-
going to
unless
happen?
unless it was done intentionally. I don't know. They don't. You know, you don't know the investigation just yet. But security's riding around the parking lot, and they noticed. Okay, the car's not moving, but there's a lot of condensation on the inside, and the brake lights are on. Isn't that odd? That the brake lights are on and the car is off and not moving. Well, when they finally got around to breaking in, the dog is. They don't say what kind of dog it is, but the dog is dead on the driver's side.
Had to be a larger.
Obviously laying against the brake pedal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they run the plate and they find out who owns the car, and it's a man from Hopkinton who they found who came out to his car. So that he was arrested. Animal
Good.
cruelty and
Good.
whatever other charges they could get. But the Lincoln police were just dumbfounded. What are you thinking?
Did they say what time?
They just said Friday night. They didn't give exact time. Though they did say the dog was in the car for several hours.
Oh.
And have you ever seen those videos where people do this to themselves just to see how bad it gets?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
they last maybe 2 minutes
right.
with the sweat, and it's like, and oh my God, it's so hot. And all
Yeah.
right, that's enough of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but to do it to an animal or a small child,
It could have
can't
been
get out.
worse. Yeah, it could have been a child.
yeah,
Right.
And that's happened before.
Yeah.
Well, that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
Remember when they first opened, they used to find kids in the car, but it was never in the summertime. Usually they was sleeping. But anyway, this is the latest that happened at Bally's.
Awful. Awful.
That the dog was found dead in the car at the casino.
Sad.
Sad is right. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you got? What do you got for us, Melissa? That's better.
Well, okay. So this is a wild story. True story. So on Saturday, I had an art market down in South Kingstown at the beach. Beautiful, wonderful. I'm driving back, beach traffic, Saturday, and I see a little baby deer on the side of the road, like little. Obviously been hit trying to lift up its head. So I immediately pull over, and a woman pulls over in front of me, and there's a person already pulled over in front of them.
Yeah.
So I run to the little deer, and she's trying to lift up her head. She's about a foot from the solid white line. So I check her out. She's in shock. So I run back to get a towel out of my car. And when I come back, I guess there's the woman in the car that hit her, but she didn't hit her. A relative hit the deer, but the relative male never came to check on the deer. So she said, "Oh no, she's dying. She's dying." I said, "Well, she's in shock. Let's cover her up." I said, "We need to move her away from the side of the road." No, we can't move her. We shouldn't move her. I said, "Man, we really should move her away from the side of the road because it's dangerous for us to be here on the side of the road."
Yeah. Right there. on
Meanwhile,
Route 4.
right. And, there's tons of traffic
Yeah.
at this time. It was probably about 4:00. And the other woman who also stopped was busy calling the animal control. The animal control wasn't there, so she was calling there was a wildlife refuge, I guess, right up the street that she knew about, so she was calling them. So the woman, it's hard to explain. So the woman, to an effort to, I guess, protect the baby deer, she, she was sitting down, and her back was, right on the white line, and she had her, legs, bent, over the deer, and she was
Alright.
petting the deer like a dog. And I said, "Man, we really need to move move this deer. No, I think that's a bad idea. I said, no, we really need to. So have you ever all like hit an animal on the side of the road? Do you know what happens sometimes when you hit an animal on the side of the road? If you haven't,
no.
good, because I hope you never do. The animal's in shock. They're stunned.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes what happens is when the animal snaps to, they freak out.
Yeah.
So I know this. So this happens while we are having a discussion about whether or not that we should move the deer. Luckily, I had the towel around her. Baby deer wakes up. She looks, and I checked her over. She's scraped. She's bleeding from the mouth a little bit, but maybe okay. So the woman's like, oh, don't let her up. So finally I said, ma'am, let go and get out of the way. And I guess she was so surprised because it was very firm. I picked the deer up. Now she's awake. She's kicking.
Yeah,
she's struggling.
She wants to get away.
I got a couple of nice bruises.
Yeah.
Get her down the embankment. Almost get her to the ground. She launches off me. I've got a nice little round hoof print and goes into the brush.
Off it goes, huh?
Off she goes. So so then, the women were like, well, is she going to be okay? I said,
don't know.
I hope so. I can tell you she wasn't going to be okay if she bolted in the other direction
Well,
with
that's
4
right.
lanes of traffic. So I have some nice bruises all over from being
Well,
kicked by a baby deer.
I have to say,
Good for you.
it was very, very good of you to do that. Question I have is the driver. What about the driver? Driver was in the car, stayed in the car?
Yeah, he never came out, but the woman who was with him picked up the piece of the car that had fallen off and brought it back to their car. They were from out of state.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
So
he-
last week, I reel in 2 bass on the same line. This week, I'm wrangling a baby deer. Like, I'm having these wildlife encounters, and they're getting exponentially larger. So I'm afraid to go out of my house next week. And
Yeah,
what's going to
wow.
happen?
Well, all's well that apparently ends well.
Yeah, right. We
Yeah.
hope so. I said,
Yeah.
well, I hope she found her mom, and I hope
Everything
she's
be
okay. And, they're like, well, should we go? No, we're not going to go look for her.
And you would never find her. If you
Yeah.
went into the woods trying to find where the baby deer went,
Fast, right?
they take off. Oh, that's
Like, we
funny.
can't do anything else. So we just hope for the best. It was the best scenario out of the
Right.
possible scenarios.
All right.
Except that I got kicked, but it's okay.
Don't go to Maine. That's where the moose are.
Oh,
okay?
no.
And they
No, I
kick harder than deer.
Yeah, no, I really, no.
Yeah.
So just a word to the wise, if you do hit a deer with your car and you're pulled over and you're like, oh my gosh, it's dead, don't get near it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're just stunned and they get up.
I can't believe she was sitting so close to the white line. I mean, the cars have come very
I don't know
close.
what.
How did she not get hit?
I don't know what she was doing.
Wow, that's bizarre.
She had her phone out too, so like I don't know if her intention. Like I know it was weird. It was just I'm
Was
just
she
like
filming?
I don't know what her intentions were.
Okay.
It was not an Instagram moment. This was just like let's take care of this and
It'll be on YouTube.
It better not because I had some choice words.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's all right. YouTube's okay with that.
No.
All right. I want to get into something, but we don't have really enough time right now. So we're going to take a quick little break here on Coffee In. And if you get any comments or questions, call them in, 766-1240. More coming up. Stay tuned. The Broaster House is the place for excellent dinners like broasted chicken or chicken family style, Delmonico steak, and hot turkey sandwich. The Broaster House features 10 delicious appetizers like stuffed quahogs and the house sampler. Enjoy seafood at the Broaster House like butterfly shrimp or broasted fish and chips. And don't forget the combinations from 4 to 32 pieces. Eat in, take out, and they cater at the Broaster House, 263 Pond Street, Woonsocket. Call them at 762-1717. Hi, this is Joe Callahan, your maitre d' inside the Tiki Bar, letting you know the Tiki Bar is now open 2 days a week on ON, AM, and FM, Saturdays at noon, and a replay Mondays at 6. The Tiki Bar is sponsored by Attorney Bob Lauder, the Carew Investment Group, Family Discount Furniture, and Pepin Lumber. Here's your chance to catch 1 full hour of Jimmy Buffett music inside the Tiki Bar, Saturdays at noon and Mondays at 6 on ON, AM, and FM. The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON, AM, and FM.
It is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning. It's July 17th, and I'm Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Romeo Berthum, who's making himself some coffee at the moment. And I feel bad, but then I laugh at the same time. It's kind of the person I am, I guess. The city of Pawtucket, I just cannot catch a break with anything. It's like someone's planning this. So they wanted to have their what they call their final inning at McCoy Stadium. They wanted to have fireworks and food trucks and music and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And they wanted to do it on July 3rd, and it rained.
Right.
So they said, okay, let's move it out to July 16th. And it rained.
Mm-hmm.
And it rained, and it rained, and it rained.
So much rain.
And so they're pushing it off to Labor Day weekend. So don't make any Labor Day plans.
Okay.
Because it's going to rain.
Let me put it in my calendar.
But
Because it never rains on Labor Day.
No, never. But it just, I always thought, okay,
it's too
they were
bad.
going to have it on July 3rd. Let's have the final thing, and then we can knock the stadium down and we can start building the high school. Well, now they're not having this thing till September. When are we knocking down the high school? Knocking down the stadium to build the high school.
Well, that was going to be several years, I'm sure.
Well, you got to remember, this is Rhode Island, too. So
Yeah.
they're right on schedule to be late, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought the point was to get the school up as quickly as we can, because there's major construction that needs to be done to Shea High School, so I'm told. Tolman's 1,000 years old too, so the quicker the kids get out of there and into something new, the better. So, and
2
I
months
guess,
is probably 3 months is probably not going to make a difference.
Yeah.
But you got to start sometime.
You've got to start sometime. Yeah, you're right.
And okay, but let's knock it down and get it out of the way.
Hopefully, we'll be ready for beginning of school 2025. I'm
Yeah.
guessing. Yeah.
And I know they're still waiting on contracts and bids to come in and plans and all that, and I guess that's all part of the plans is the demolition
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
those first.
Yeah.
So
Roll that in. Sure.
that won't be two different companies. That'll all
That's
be
not something
one.
the city probably would be able to handle.
No. But I just I feel bad for Pawtucket. It's trying to do something.
I know.
And every time they move it, okay, less people are coming. Less people are coming.
Well, I guess they figured Labor Day weekend people might make a thing of it.
Maybe. And they had to check with the bands and the food truck people and okay, what do you got open? Well, we still have Labor Day open. Okay, let's try to do it that weekend.
Well, it'll be a Monday. Labor Day is on a Monday. It's a beautiful day today. The way it's been going, the weekends are washouts.
Yeah.
And the first day of the
maybe,
week,
yeah.
Yeah.
The Monday, the blue Mondays are really nice. They're literally blue with blue
I
skies.
know.
I don't know how long that's going to last. But.
It's going to be hot. It's
Yeah.
going to be like 90
Well,
today.
it is July.
I know.
I know. This is a weird summer, though, isn't
It
it?
has
It
been a hot
is
summer.
bizarre
And we
summer.
are kind of lucky here when you consider what's going on in the
Oh, the-
Midwest and in Texas and
Southwest.
in Vermont. Not that far away.
Super glad I don't live
Yeah.
in Phoenix anymore. Got to say, it was
Yeah.
bad when.
110 every single day. I mean,
Nope. Nope.
Now, they're ascribing that to global warming, right?
Yes.
They're saying that that's a direct result of climate change, they
Okay.
call it, which used to be global warming caused by human beings.
we don't call
There are
it
still
global
some-
warming anymore. We
There
call
are
it climate change.
Climate change, yeah, it's kind of a catch-all phrase, but I think a lot of people are still in denial that we humans caused this.
Yeah.
This is something that they say is attributed to the normal order of things. If they would have
Yes,
kept
but we-
records years ago, which they did, I'm talking like thousands of years ago, they would have gone through the same thing. That's what they're saying, and they're
I
saying
think
humans,
it's
yeah,
accelerated it.
yeah, it
Sure.
exacerbated it.
Yep.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But, is it going to continue? Of course it will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was told that in elementary
Yeah.
school there's another ice age coming.
Oh, there you go. See
When
what I
everything
mean?
melts and
Yeah.
comes down again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But we
was
didn't
told
have
that.
to
I
wor-
remember being
we didn't
told
have
that
to-
too.
We didn't have to worry about it though because we were all going to be dead by then.
Well, the previous ice age really wasn't that long ago when you think about it. I mean, in terms of eons and eras, probably a few thousand years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a combination of both. And unless we change our way of living, we will continue to contribute to the climate change. Do you agree with that?
I do absolutely agree with that. And I think when they used to call it global warming,
Yeah.
but then people would say, well, it's so cold this winter. Where's global warming?
Yeah.
So the climate change really is a better term that
Yeah.
encompasses
Yeah.
the wild fluctuations both ways and all of
Yeah.
this wild weather
And it's
and
not-
tornadoes
correct.
and I mean just
Yeah.
more hurricanes and
And
all the
it's-
crazy stuff.
It's not only here in the U.S. I mean, I hear
Everywhere.
Europe,
Wildfires
right
and-
now,
yes.
people visiting Europe, they're undergoing this terrible heat as well. The heat dome is over Italy right now, where it's 110 degrees. When you're touring, walking around, and it sounds like, oh well, too bad. But you get off the bus, it's like 110 degrees. I can put a damper, no pun intended, on your vacation, but it's nothing we can do about
And
it.
food production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More importantly, of course.
Yeah, big problems.
So that could be our biggest problem coming up in the years to come.
Remember when,
Yeah.
there's a hole in the ozone layer,
Yeah.
hole in the ozone layer,
Yes.
and they banned the chemicals
yeah.
that were,
The aerosol cans.
no more Aquanet, right?
That's right.
And what happened?
Really?
Like that hole got smaller. We saw a direct
Yeah.
correlation between our actions.
That was the whole over Antarctica, right?
Yeah,
I believe?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
So
We
did
abated
work.
it.
So
We
this is
abated it,
Yeah,
so-
that's your point. Yeah.
So did you see there was a tornado in Massachusetts yesterday?
Yeah. Paxton, was it?
East Brookfield.
Okay.
Still
All right.
out west. but,
Okay.
An EF0.
EF0.
And people go, zero. Well,
Yeah.
still a tornado.
right.
Not a surprise.
Yeah. And Woonsocket got a tornado watch
Yes, we did.
going. And
Yeah.
most of Massachusetts
Yeah.
and New Hampshire and Vermont. So, and they just had tree damage out there.
Yeah.
The winds pick up and knock things over.
I remember the one in Brimfield just a few years ago. It was
Yeah.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So things you got to look out for.
I don't remember the one in Worcester back in the early 50s, but I remember hearing about it. I was around, but I was too young to. The one that destroyed Assumption College and quite a lot of
Mhm.
buildings in the Worcester area, and even down in North Attleboro, I guess. Yeah, it happens once in a while here. It could happen. So if we ever broadcast a tornado watch, we should take it seriously
Oh yeah.
because it could happen.
They always say it sounds like a freight train coming.
Yeah.
That's what
And
they
so-
say.
And they always say if you don't live near the train tracks and you hear a train coming, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Talk about the real hard hitting story
All right.
over the weekend. Phew. Top Golf in Cranston changed their name.
Yeah, I heard that. I reported
Thank goodness.
that. Yeah.
I don't
Well-
know anything about
well,
this.
the-
Was there big, there's
a-
big
a-
scuttlebutt about
yes,
this.
there's this
Yes.
place called, they were going to call it Top Golf Providence. And I guess it's an indoor driving range. kind of
Problem
thing.
is, it's in Cranston.
The problem is, well, it's not really a problem, but
Yeah.
yes, it was in Cranston.
Yeah.
Right?
Called
Okay.
Top Golf Providence. Well, the mayor of Cranston,
Lombardi.
I can't find
No.
his name. I'm looking for his name. Oh, Ken Hopkins.
Yeah.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Hopkins, right.
Very upset. And he goes to the Top Golf people demanding that they change their name or move.
Yeah. And
They changed their name.
they compromised.
They compromised, I guess. And
Um,
now it's going to be called Top Golf Rhode Island.
I'll bet you the mayor is a golfer.
Maybe.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
well, he wants to promote his city.
I don't blame him.
I get it. And, but the only thing I can relate it to is up in Massachusetts, next to the Xfinity Center, is a golf course, a PGA golf course, in the next town over. It's right on the line between Mansfield and Norton, and it's in Norton, but they're called TPC Boston.
Well, when you fly into Providence,
Yeah, that was how I was
Yeah,
thinking
no,
that
no,
too.
you don't fly into Providence.
No,
Warwick.
but a lot of airports
Fly
are
into
like that.
I know.
Yeah.
You fly into Warwick.
Same with Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here.
Yes,
Is-
you're
is
not
it-
really in Chicago.
Is that right? I'm not sure about
You're,
that.
outside,
I
you're right
thought-
outside it.
Right outside.
Mhm.
But flying in, you don't know that. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
you're
you
just
don't.
thinking about your final
Yeah, the
destination.
the biggest city. Did you say final destination?
Oh, no.
That's kind of yeah. Okay. Now I know what you mean.
St. Louis is like that too.
Yeah.
They're right on like the
Yeah.
line of St. Louis and St. Charles.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's very very close. But a lot of them
Yeah.
airports like that. But so Ken Hopkins wins, and they changed the name, and the Topgolf Rhode Island is now expected to open in the fall.
Yeah.
He did obviously he wanted to change it to Topgolf Cranston, but they weren't going for that. So they went a little more broader,
Yeah.
more statewide stuff.
Yeah.
And,
That's
but okay.
understandable from a marketing perspective.
Well, I can see when he runs for re-election, that'll be in his campaign. I
won that.
won. Yeah, that's important.
I did that for you,
What about taxes? Did you lower taxes, Mayor? Well, yeah,
but I got them to change
Yeah.
their name.
yeah, that's important.
So there was a shooting in Providence on last Friday night, and a 17-year-old boy was shot and killed in the city near Dexter Street, near Buckland Park. I'm not quite sure where that is. Do you know where it is, Romeo?
I've heard of Dexter Street,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure where that is. Is that near the State House somewhere? Possibly. Yeah. Because
I'm
they
not
have
sure.
quite a few neighborhoods in that area that
Yeah, a lot of little parks.
Dexter
they
Street,
sound. It
Smith
sounds
Hill,
familiar.
maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is the eighth homicide in Providence this year.
Yeah. Definitely have a problem.
That's about one a month. That's about one a month.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I know police police don't like the summertime because things tend to go up.
Especially the heat.
It's
The heat brings out the worst in people.
It really
and,
does.
and,
yeah.
and the best as well is what happened to you
Mhm.
the other day. That's an example of bringing out the best in people.
But
when
arguments escalate
you're humping the
faster
deer.
Yes.
I know what you mean, though.
in,
Yeah.
the,
Yeah.
in the heat and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, absolutely.
More people outside and
Yeah.
congregating and
Drinking.
Yeah, drinking. And you add firearms to that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
it
know-
would solve the problem if the firearms were involved. Then it would
Cor-
just be an argument.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem to be as bad as it was in Providence. In past years, they've had worse
Have they?
statistics. I believe they have. I don't have the numbers, but it doesn't seem like it's as bad as it has been.
Well, let me play devil's advocate, Melissa.
One is too many, of
True.
course. But
Well, if you take away the guns, they're just going to pick up another weapon.
Okay.
A rock or a knife or a
knife probably.
And but guns are meant to kill,
That's true.
right?
You're
I mean,
right.
that's why they were developed to kill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, someone
Not-
may get hurt in a fight. They
But
might
they
get
may not-
they may
but-
get killed in a fight,
yeah,
but
but
their
they may
chances
not.
are a lot larger of surviving a fight than
Yeah.
right. It's like don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Right.
The whole thing, right? There's a gun involved. Someone's likely to die.
I've seen that on some videos I've seen online. If someone pulls a knife on you, just run away, but don't run in a straight line. Go like this, because the odds that the person that's holding a knife is a good knife thrower are so slim.
Yeah.
So just, you get a serpentine.
There are
back
a
and
lot of
forth.
professional knife throwers out there.
That's right. So the odds that they'll hit you while throwing a knife are astronomically high. So, will you do that in that kind of situation? I don't know. You
Yeah,
know,
I
what you're
don't
gonna
know.
do in a panic situation
You
like
never
that.
know.
Run.
But well, that's what they tell you. Well, run.
Just run.
if you have a chance.
Yeah.
But not in a straight line.
I don't think I would think about that. I think I would just run as fast as I could.
Same thing if they're holding a rock. What are the chances they're a good rock thrower?
Put your helmet on.
They-
I don't know.
All right, before we have to take another break here on the Coffee AM program, Sox won last night to Romeo.
Again.
So they took the series in Chicago.
They are doing well, much better this second half so far.
Well, that's just started.
I know. That's why.
But they're
Yeah.
not in last place by themselves. Now they're tied for last.
I had a dream that they were in first.
Well, that's not
It
it.
was a dream. Yeah.
They're tied with the New York Yankees for last place.
Wow.
Or fourth place, whichever way you want to look at it.
Two of the best teams that money can buy.
You're right.
Well,
So-
all right.
We'll see how things go. I talked to Dave earlier because the Worcester Red Sox were in Florida, taking on the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp,
Oh.
and he said, "That's not really the name of the team, is it?" I said, "Sure is."
Is
Are
it
you
really?
kidding? Really?
See, I
Oh
didn't
no,
know
that's the real
Yeah.
name of the team.
The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Shrimp. They are affiliated with the Florida Marlins.
Okay.
Keeping it on the whole ocean fish theme.
Yeah.
Kind of awesome,
guess.
actually.
So
I like
so,
it. I approve.
The mascot is a shrimp holding a baseball bat.
With its tiny little
No,
whatever.
they made it bigger and make it look like he could hold a baseball bat and have a little hat on.
Yeah.
But that's the real team, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They haven't come up to Worcester yet, so I'm waiting for them. They're not coming this year. Maybe next year. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We should change our name to Calamari. No. Now that we're Worcester, we can't.
No, that's
Now it's
right.
Worcester,
That's Rhode
so
Island,
just
yeah.
moot.
The Who Sox.
All right. Break time once again here on Coffee Inn. And it's time for a look at the weather forecast. No rain. Unless we want more.
Knock on
Knock on
wood.
wood. There we go.
All right, here we go.
All right, Dave's got the forecast for us, being brought to us by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Gradually becoming sunny today with a high of 88 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 69. Tuesday's weather, partly sunny at 85. Wednesday, mostly sunny and 86. Thursday, mostly sunny and 83. Friday, partly sunny and a high near 82. Saturday, mostly sunny and 82. And on Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 83.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with mostly sunny skies, we have 80 degrees. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. Our family caring for your family. The Holiday Retirement Home is a skilled nursing and rehabilitation facility with a home-like atmosphere where laughter is the best medicine. The Holiday keeps their patients and residents involved in varied activities and events so they have the opportunity to live life to the fullest. The Holiday Retirement Home has their own in-house physical, occupational, and speech therapy staff with more than 300 years of combined experience. Stop in for a tour. The Holiday is right off Route 99 on Sales Hill Road in Manville, and for more information you can visit their website at holidayretirement.com.
Hi, this is Gary Smith. Join me for Do You Remember, Tuesday through Friday mornings at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Thanks, Gary. It is Coffee Inn on ON. Thanks for joining us. It's Coffee Inn here on ON Radio. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Romeo Berthium. Yesterday was National Ice Cream Day. Did anybody have any?
I did.
No.
No, I didn't either. What'd you have?
So
What flavor?
I went to a local place and it's called Grandma's Cookies. And the reason I got it is because it was, you'll laugh at me, typical me story. It was a vanilla base and I didn't want to get anything chocolate based because yesterday was also my dog's 10th birthday and I wanted to give him some licks.
Okay.
And dogs
They can't
are
have
not supposed to
chocolate.
have chocolate. So I didn't get the kind that I really wanted. And honestly, it was not that good.
Now, when you
I'm like, I should have got the chocolate and peanut butter, which is like one of my faves. I like pistachio. I like black raspberry is my favorite.
All right.
But I thought vanilla would be best for the
well,
dog.
every ice cream that they have out there is basically either vanilla based or chocolate based.
Right.
And they add
All the good
flavor.
ones are chocolate.
Yeah. But not to serve to animals. Now, when you give your dog a couple of licks, as you call them,
Yep.
do you alternate? Do you give?
I let him like the cone, yeah.
Okay. You're obviously an animal
All
lover.
right.
I know. I'm
Okay.
that person.
This is
Okay.
when I was younger and played Little League Baseball. When your team won, the coaches took you out for ice cream.
Right.
So you always wanted to win. And so we went out to ice cream one time, and we were at back when Newport Creamery was on
Yeah.
Menden Road in Cumberland.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only place you could go. That was they had the monopoly at the time. There's a lot more now, but that's the only place you could go at the time. And so the team got there, and there was another little boy who wasn't part of the team. So he was smart. He raced in front of us because you see that here comes 18 kids, and he got in front. So he was smart.
Yeah.
And when he got up to order his ice cream, he wanted purple ice cream, and the person behind the counter, purple.
Purple ice. What's that?
And finally, someone else on our team said he wants black raspberry. Oh.
Yes, the best flavor.
Because it's purple. so there you go.
Yeah.
The laborers union in Rhode Island has endorsed Sabina Matos
Yes.
for Congress.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of wondering what Steve Casey might feel about that.
Yeah, he's a.
He
Firefighter
told us
in
that
the union.
he was on here.
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
only person running that is a union member.
Yeah.
And I think he was
And she's not
counting on this.
She's not a union member,
No.
Well, no.
No.
but they endorsed her.
Yes.
Any reason?
Well, they just say, according to our news report, she's prepared to represent all Rhode Islanders in Washington with a common sense approach to getting things done and won't forget the needs of the working families.
Well, it's very nice prose, but you could say that about any candidate. right?
I know it's very
I would
generic.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think? I think Steve must be besides himself. I'm sure because that endorsement means a lot,
The laborers.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that's a big one.
I think he was
'Cause
counting on
especially in
it.
a special election. They'll
Yeah.
be on the
Yeah.
phone that day and the day before, getting all their members to go out and vote. So that's a very important endorsement.
It is, but there's a lot of so UNAP, which is United Nurses and Professionals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They endorse Sandra Cano,
Did they?
so they're a pretty large union as well.
Okay.
So it's getting
It's not
it's
only
going to be
that.
piecemealed out now.
Yeah.
So
When
so
is
they're not part of the Rhode Island Laborers Union.
no,
They're something else.
they're the
Okay.
nurses union.
when is that election, by the way?
September 5th.
And that's a primary.
That's the primary, September 5th.
They're going to pick two people.
No.
Nope, just one.
But there's
So
no-
that
that's the
okay,
Democratic
yeah,
primary,
okay.
right.
Then there'll be an election in October, maybe.
Correct.
but there's no Republicans running and there's
Okay,
no independents
I
running.
just
so-
have a question, and all due respect to
Yeah.
Congressman Cicilline, why couldn't he wait another year instead of having to have this special election? I know he had a position. He
The
took a
position
position.
at the Rhode Island Foundation came up and it paid him triple what he was paying,
Yeah.
getting paid.
Yeah.
That
Do
might
you,
have
do
been
you
it.
think he would have been? Do you think he would have announced his resignation had the Democrats won the House? Because he was up for. He was like a speaker assistant. He was almost next in line. He would
Yeah.
probably
He
never
was,
have made
yep.
it. But when they lost the House, the Democrats, he lost that potential position.
That had a lot
That
to do with
path.
it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I don't think he would have quit at that time. But I just okay, yeah, he had a job offer, and I understand, and money is always a consideration. But
Mhm.
I think
I
if he
don't-
could have, if he would have waited till the,
yeah,
I think if
yeah,
he could have
yeah,
waited,
yeah.
he would have. This
Okay.
is this is a
All right.
this is like a jungle primary. It's kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Romeo asked if we brought this up last week and we didn't, so might
Yeah.
as well, we can do it now. It did make some national news where the Ben and Jerry's company up
Yep.
there in
Vermont.
whatever they are in Vermont, I forget what town they're in, and I actually have been to their ice cream. Have you ever been
Me
to their
too.
ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the ice cream is awesome.
It
It
really
is.
is.
The free samples
They-
at the end doesn't matter what it is.
You've toured.
They're all good.
You've toured their facilities.
Yes, I have.
So have I.
Just to get the free ice
It's
cream.
not
at
far
the
from the
end.
Canadian border. It's way up there.
It is. It's up near Burlington and up
And I
up
and I
that way.
go ahead.
But anyway,
Yeah.
they came out
Yeah.
and said they want the state of South Dakota to start to give back land to the indigenous people of that state.
Yeah.
Starting with Mount Rushmore should go back to the Native Americans. And the governor of South Dakota
Yeah.
came out, well, basically said, you really should learn your history.
Yeah.
I remember her saying that. And it kind of just left it at that. Is there more to that story, Romeo?
No, I believe you're on the right track, and
Mhm.
the history is that where Ben and Jerry's is located in Vermont, northern Vermont, they're also located on indigenous land. So it's like physician, heal thyself.
Yeah.
Do as I say, don't do as I do. I think it was just a position that the people that own Ben and Jerry's, we're not even sure if the original owners are still there. We were discussing this off the air, but the people that own Ben and Jerry's apparently came out with that, and they put it on their website. I remember that. I think I don't know. It's a very popular position for the extreme left to take, but on the other hand, it's very impractical, and I'm wondering if it hurt their sales.
It did.
I figured it would.
boycotting
So
Ben
yes,
and Jerry's now.
yesterday was ice cream day.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I want. So you just answered my question. They did. It did hurt their sales.
Yes,
Just like the
at least
Budweiser thing.
Just like
the
Budweiser.
Bud Light.
Right up the bat,
So
anyway.
I guess the moral of the story is keep politics out of my
Companies should keep
politics
politics
out
out
of
of it.
my food. not that Bud Light is food, but it is in a way. Of course it
drink.
is.
You can't survive on ice cream and beer, though.
I know, but it's popular. You're right.
Coach on that?
You could try,
Well, I don't know. Has it ever
Yeah, you
been
you can
tried?
quote me on that. That would be. I mean, you probably can,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
Not for long.
wouldn't be a good decision.
But you're right. Companies
So the question
just
is,
stay out
why?
of politics.
Yeah, and why do they do
Why
that?
are you doing this?
Because they can, because they
Well,
have
they
the
can.
ability and the ability to influence.
But
You
then it
know,
comes
if
out,
you're in their
should-
position,
should-
of power,
or
they
should they do it then?
I think you hit it right on the head, Melissa. But it also hurts them in the long run.
yeah, it may.
So
but-
so you might make a case that they feel so strongly about their positions that they're willing to take a loss.
Right,
And
right.
wow,
In an attempt to, make people see
Well,
their side or
if they-
influence them. And
if they made that decision at a corporate board meeting and I was there, I would say, shut up, don't say it. You may feel it, but this is going to hurt the bottom line.
well, unless the board all felt the same way.
Wow.
Like-minded folks. And when you get a bunch of like-minded folks around a table,
Well,
and someone says, "Oh, this is a great idea," and everyone says, "Yeah, this is a great idea," and you don't have anybody saying, "Well, maybe we should think about this."
Mount Rushmore? Come on.
Yeah.
It's an icon.
It's a state park, isn't it there?
I'm not sure if it
Or
belongs
national-
is
or
it-
national
it's a-
park?
I think it's a national
National,
park.
I
Yeah,
believe.
National park.
Well, the government's probably not going to give that land back.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I mean,
Well, we're all on indigenous land,
What are they-
so
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the entire United States, Canada,
even the
Mexico.
Native American tribes didn't own the land. They just used it. And they have that same philosophy. They moved from place to place.
Right,
and
right.
Nobody,
They didn't believe that you could own.
they couldn't understand the concept
own
of
nature.
ownership. They
Yeah.
still don't. Yeah,
That's,
but I paid $50,000 for that lot. Doesn't matter. It's not yours.
I remember hearing that
Yeah.
in elementary school.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you mean you own it? In 100 years,
Yeah.
you'll be gone and I'll be gone. The rock's
Yeah.
still going to be here.
Unless they blast
So
it out.
arguing over who owns it is
Oh.
really stupid.
Yeah. Well, if they blasted
It's
Mount
like shoreline
Rushmore,
access,
yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
a huge thing right now. Like, you don't own the ocean.
That's
Nobody owns the
But
ocean.
a lot of people who
But it's
have,
my land.
who have property there.
Oh, they sure
they
think
they
I
do,
know they think they do.
and they don't want people walking in front.
There's a
of
coalition now, and
Yes, they formed.
they're all the leaders of that coalition. They're from
Who's
Connecticut.
Oh, are they?
Oh, they're out-of-staters. There you
Out-of-staters.
go.
Yeah,
That
they're
answers
Well, the
my
people who,
question.
not all of the
Yeah.
folks are, but the
Yeah.
folks who are in charge of it or who are leading the charge. Yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, don't walk in front of my house. I mean,
But
don't walk
I-
in front of my mansion.
Don't walk in front of my mansion when I'm not there
Yeah.
9 months out of the year.
Yeah, I know.
But I can see their point when they're paying the taxes on the land.
Yeah, but come
Maybe
on.
they should pay less.
Isn't there a...
No.
No, we can't do that. All right, then get out of my backyard.
I thought they had settled that years ago with the so-called high water mark and all that. And,
Right.
But it's
Right.
changed.
It's
somehow.
changed
it's
again?
changed.
Yeah.
Now it is
yeah.
10 feet from the discernible high tide.
Okay.
So where you see the high tide, wherever the seaweed line is
Yep.
with the high tide, 10 feet.
10 feet. How did they get that through?
I don't know. It's state law now.
That must have
Past both
changed.
chambers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then folks are hot about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it was a group of people who had some influence who had something to do with that change.
I wasn't on that committee.
Oh, no, that happened years ago, Melissa.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
of it. Yeah. I haven't heard about it in a long time, but it is
back.
the issue is coming
It's a
back.
hot button issue this year.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really
Yeah.
hot.
And
Yeah.
it'll be back in the courts to try to determine who's
Yeah.
who's right and
Well, they're going to have to find some judges that don't own property on the shoreline.
I'm sure they can find some.
Right.
Good luck with that.
Things just keep getting worse and worse for this Boston City councilor, the woman
yeah.
who crashed her car into the house on the revoked license and no insurance and a suspended license, or revoked license, I should say, no insurance and uninspected car. and like that. Now there's another complaint that's been filed against her. This is Kendra Lara. A complaint was filed last week alleging that she has been living out of her district and not in Jamaica Plain, where she says she is supposed to be representing.
Wow.
Yep. Yikes.
Either somebody's out to get her, or she's absolutely, well, we won't say it.
The whole thing with the car, she's actually come out and apologized and said I should be setting a better example.
That's admitting guilt.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's admitted guilt to this right away.
Yeah.
Also, there's Uber and Lyft. Like, if you're,
Oh, the kid in the car that wasn't in the car seat. That was the fourth one. That was involved in that accident too.
oh,
Yeah, so
What
there's a
a-
lot there.
What
Yeah,
a
that's a
role,
lot.
What a role
Yeah.
model she is for her constituents.
Oh, she was speeding.
Yeah. Wow.
And so now
Anything
that-
else?
No, that's it for the car. And now they just say you don't live in the district of which you want to represent, so, according to
Yeah.
her campaign filing. So
Of all the issues, in my opinion, that's the one that will get her out, because the other issues are, have really nothing to do with her position. Am I right?
well,
She's a role model, but that part is not good. But the fact that she's not living in her district,
yeah.
if they want
that
to get her,
plus,
like they get Al Capone,
just
on
letting your-
tax evasion.
I mean, I don't know how much Boston city councilors
Yeah.
get paid. I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's probably a whole lot
Is it
more
is it
than
a full-time position?
I would
I don't know.
imagine it could be.
And from that body usually comes the future mayors too. But keep going.
Yeah, and state legislators,
Yeah.
they're full time, aren't they? Full
I
time in
think they are.
Massachusetts.
Definitely, that I
Yeah,
know for
yeah.
a fact.
So,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I
I'm
don't
sure
think
they don't get a $9,000 stipend. I'm sure it must be more in
Stipend.
Boston.
yeah. I'm sure it
well,
is.
I don't think she's going to be there much longer because
Probably
she
not.
does have two challenges in her primary election, which is also in September.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so
She may be
done,
gone.
done.
I was just going to say,
Let-
let the voters decide.
Yep,
Yeah.
they will. They
Yeah.
will. Let the
Yeah.
voters.
Sure. But again, it is Boston. So that's all I'm going to
This
say.
is that kind of news right now will definitely affect the election. If the election were next year, I would say, well, maybe folks will just kind of forget about it. But no, it's
Well, that's up to the media. The media will remind them if they want to. They want to get around.
yeah.
That's what the media does.
So the woman that was charged with willful trespassing at Taylor Swift's house in Westerly.
Oh, another Rhode Island thing, huh?
Yep, she's due in court for arraignment. However, she's from Connecticut,
Oh,
Bristol, Connecticut, which is kind of close nearby to Westerly.
Did she say anything about why she was doing it?
Not yet.
Okay.
But she's expected to be in Wakefield today.
Okay.
how close did she get to the house?
Doesn't say.
Is it right
Enough
on
to
the
get caught.
again on the water, on the shore?
Usually they hang out by the gates that are
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So, yeah.
She must have got pretty close.
Yep.
Over the years, many fans have tried to meet or connect with Swift by invading her privacy at her homes. Of course, they always choose when Taylor's not at home.
Yeah.
I wanted to meet her. We're
But she's
gonna hide
not-
out
how do
there
you
for
not-
a
how- if
few
you're su-
months.
If you're such a fan, how do you not know she's not here?
It's interesting.
Opportunity, Joe. Opportunity.
I guess.
You said, it's
I
interesting. You said at her homes.
Well,
with the S.
she's got a few.
Not
Yeah.
Home.
All right, break
Yeah.
time once again here on Coffee and more coming up. Stay tuned.
Remote car starters are great to have in the summertime. They can cool off the inside of your car when the sun is blazing. Stop by Inferno Audio on Clinton Street in Woonsocket and speak to Keith about how easy it is to have a remote car starter installed in your vehicle. Now, if your air conditioner isn't working in your car, no problemo. Inferno Audio can make it work. So don't drive around with a hot car burning your fingertips. That's not safe. Plus, they can make car keys for any make or model of vehicle, and the price will be far less than the dealership would tell you. Stop in today and see Keith at Inferno Audio, 160 Clinton Street, Woonsocket, just next to KFC.
Ice cream is always a good idea, especially during the hot summer months. When you want your choice of hard ice cream or those soft ice cream twists, then head to Cool Corner Creamery. Whether you're a classic vanilla lover or an adventurous flavor explorer, Cool Corner Creamery has got you covered. You can get your favorite sundaes, brownie sundaes, banana splits, frozen lemonade, frozen yogurt, non-dairy ice cream, plus frozen treats for your dog, too. Cool Corner Creamery on the corner of Green Street and Vernon Street in Woonsocket. Open 7 days a week from 1 to 9 p.m. When you want ice cream, go to Cool Corner Creamery.
Freehill Council number 5702 Knights of Columbus sponsor their 9th annual Show Off Your Ride car show Sunday, July 23rd at North Smithfield Middle School at Greenville Road and Providence Pike. Once again, Anchor Subaru and Nissan return as the main sponsors, with many local businesses sponsoring trophies and dash plaques. A 50-50 raffle will be held. Registration runs from 8 until 10 with a $10 admission. All proceeds benefit the Freehill Scholarship Fund. Show cars should enter at the middle school parking lot, while spectators please use the high school parking lot. The first 100 cars entered receive dash plaques. Food and drinks available for purchase from Mickey G's Clam Shack. Awards are at 1:30. This is ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'll be your MC for the day. There are no fees for spectators, but free will donations are gladly accepted. For more, contact Paul Vadnez at 401-765-4357 or pvsandman@yahoo.com.
Thanks, Bruce. It is Coffee In on ON AM and FM. Joe Callahan here with Romeo Berthium and Melissa Murray. And other things that are going on. And we had this story last week. I don't know if you heard about it. Here it is again. When you're, not everything has to go on social media. Mm-hmm. You don't have to live stream everything. Mm-hmm. All right? But apparently some people feel they do. And Ohio plastic surgeon's medical license has been permanently revoked after she live streamed her surgeries that she was performing on TikTok. And the patients suffered severe complications because of her negligence, because she's paying more attention to the TikTok people who are asking her questions than to the patient that she's operating on.
This is the surgeon? Really?
This is the surgeon. Yes.
Anything happen? Any repercussions?
Well, she can't perform surgery anymore. They took her medical license away.
Right.
Yeah.
The Ohio Medical Board voted this week to ban Dr. Catherine Grawe, Grawe, for what it calls ignoring basic patient care. The board said Grawe spoke into the camera and answered viewer questions instead of focusing on her patients.
What was her motive? Was it to get fame and power, or was it money? Or
it was no, not fame. The way I read it was to get more patients. If you're watching me perform surgery and everything's successful,
I got you.
If what you want to have done, I can do it. Come to me.
Form of advertising.
Well, number one, did she ask permission from the patient to film them? If the answer is no,
I think that was a question last week, and I think the answer was no.
Okay,
so
then there you go.
The ones that got hurt are also getting a privacy issue thing.
Right.
I see a lawsuit coming.
Huge.
Yeah, huge
So
lawsuit.
3 patients suffered severe complications after the former surgeon operated on. Those
That's awful.
Complications were.
Really?
Could have been probably avoided if maybe she'd been paying attention.
Well, that's the
or
whole
not,
point.
maybe not. But I mean,
well,
what kind of was it? Plastic surgery?
Plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery.
On her face?
Doesn't say
what
they were operating
been.
on.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
Okay.
Could be anything.
Okay.
But if you're not paying attention, infections could set in. And
Absolutely.
So all
Yeah,
sorts
I
of
would not
stuff.
like my surgeon that has me cut open to be, answering questions on social media.
Hey, what's that? Kind of thing. So yeah, that's what he was. That's what this doctor was doing, but not anymore.
Well, I think it's good that they took her license.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's had medical procedures, well, you sign all these papers, they ask you all these questions. I mean, they're very, very careful about that. Well, and she apparently wasn't.
I always thought about the nurses that we were assisting. And
Yeah.
could they have said something? And
Well,
doctor, you really got to pay attention.
Who knows?
But I know surgeons rule the operating room, and you do what the surgeon
do.
says. And
or the anesthesiologist.
the anesthesiologist.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what took place there. So a better story
Yeah.
out of Bakersfield, California. A Bakersfield, California woman has her wedding ring back thanks to a scuba enthusiast. His nickname is Merman Mike.
Merman.
I like it.
Yes. Now, the woman lost her wedding ring in Bass Lake during a family's visit to Madera County, which is just north of Fresno in California. So she contacted Michael Pelly, he's Merman Mike, on social media to ask for his help. And Pelly found the ring at the bottom of the lake after a couple of hours, and then dove back into the lake to remove some trash he found, too. Now,
No doubt.
Now, Pelly, who says he loves to dive and look for lost treasures, he does this service and doesn't charge.
Oh. That's really nice.
But
I
you
wonder-
Figure, you figure
yeah.
he could get at least $100.
Well,
kind-
maybe
what-
he just does it out of his
Yeah. He's just a good guy.
altruism, right?
But how far does he have to travel to help people? And recharging those tanks costs money.
Yeah. Maybe he just charges for that, not for his.
Well, he says he
labor.
doesn't charge for. Well, okay.
Yeah, who
Doesn't
knows?
I won't charge you for the dive, but give me $50 to
Well,
recharge my oxygen.
well, I bet you he doesn't even have to
If-
ask for it. If the lady
Probably,
found,
yeah, I
she
would-
found the ring, she must have been so happy.
I'm sure
probably
she
gave
said,
him
"Let me
a-
compensate you in some way."
Probably
right?
gave him a couple
I mean, you
hundred,
hope
never
so.
mind 100.
Yeah.
Depending on
I
the
would.
value of the ring, but it doesn't have to be a monetary value for the ring. It's the whole
Yeah,
idea of
yeah.
the sentiment behind it.
Sentimental value,
Yeah.
family heirloom, anything
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Sure.
The chances of finding a ring at the
That's
bottom
very
of a
yeah.
lake,
Yeah.
which is dark
So
and
did
murky,
he use equipment, like
doesn't
a
say.
metal
She-
detector type of
He's
thing?
this is just what he does.
She probably
Just-
told him
yeah.
where she was swimming, roughly.
Yeah,
This
so
is
look in
where I
this
was,
area.
and the ring just
Depending
went
on the-
straight down. But
Right.
it could have been buried in the mud too.
Yeah,
Yep.
down below.
The current.
Yeah.
he
He
just
has something.
he just loves to dive and look
that's
for
good.
lost treasures.
Good guy.
It's
There
kind
are-
of cool though.
Yeah, I think it's great that he did this.
Well, it's good that there are still good people like that out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
that's the way he
Yeah.
chooses to spend his time, then yeah, wonderful.
And it took him a couple of hours, so it's not like I dove down, found it, came right back
Yeah,
up.
here it is.
I'll be down here for a
Yeah,
while,
yeah.
looking around for this stuff.
Good.
So maybe he was using
Aw.
like a. Do they make handheld?
Rings?
They make everything now.
Handheld metal detectors.
I'm sure they
yeah,
must.
yeah.
I mean, you see the big ones, the people walking on the beach,
They probably do.
sweeping back and forth.
I don't know how he
just
did
the
it.
big,
They must.
smaller
They
ones.
must.
And where was this again?
California.
Yeah, okay.
And do they work
Bakersfield.
underwater?
Right. Yeah. Only in California. Yeah.
All right. The New York Public Library
Yeah.
is finding ways to celebrate 50 years of hip hop music.
Okay.
Readers can visit any library branch throughout the 5 boroughs to get a limited edition library card while supplies last. I thought you could get a library card whenever you felt like it.
I think you had to be a resident. Don't you have to be a resident of one of the 5 boroughs?
I guess so.
I would think?
Probably, yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess while supplies last, meaning this celebratory card.
Oh,
Okay.
Now, the card features artwork from the soundtrack cassettes of the iconic 1983 film Wild Style.
Wild Style. Do you remember that one?
Not at all.
I don't either. I just
No.
remember the word cassette. You mentioned
I
that.
remember cassette.
I know what a
yes.
cassette is.
All right, and the New York Public Library is set to hold a hip hop party at the Stephen A. Schwarzman building
Sounds good.
Saturday, August 5th.
Wow.
In case you were going to be in New York City at
Yeah.
that time and you wanted to pop over
Sure.
and have a good time.
Hey, that's a good reason to go to New York right there.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't need a reason to go to New York.
Yeah, I
But
know.
if you do,
It's a limited edition celebratory card while supplies last. So we have, I don't know, 50, let's say, of these cards. So it'll be the
Okay.
first 50 to get the hip hop library card.
So you have to get there physically to get the
Yeah.
card. You can't get it online. Or
Can't
you
go
can't,
online
yeah.
to do this.
All right.
No,
Right.
no.
Yep.
I think anything to bring attention to public libraries. I love public libraries. I think we don't fund them enough. We don't value them enough. There's so much value in public libraries.
And
And I think that's anything that we can do that's fun to make sure that we, support them. I think
And-
is a great idea.
And right after the show, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, is what's
Leslie Page will be here.
at the library.
At the library.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
right
Good,
here on
good
the side.
segue. Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard this story. The story keeps changing a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
The number 1 draft pick in the NBA for the San Antonio Spurs is a guy by the name of Victor
Yep.
Wembanyama.
7 feet tall or
Yes,
something like
yeah,
that.
something-
6'8",
So
I
he's
think.
he's in a week or so ago. He's in Vegas, and these people all have their entourage around them. Well,
Of course.
Britney Spears is there,
Ooh.
and she wants to get a picture with him. And either he didn't realize it or he didn't know
Who she was.
I saw the
and-
video.
And the entourage push her away. Now she claims she was hit by one of the people in the entourage. Well, now Britney tries to get a picture. Her hand was pushed away by security, causing her to slap herself in the face.
Oh, come on.
I did see the video.
Well, that could happen.
It was like she went to just like touch and then they went
They
like
whacked it
Is
away.
she
swiped it
so-
and then yeah.
She
so
was
what-
filing charges,
I figured that.
but I don't
Yeah.
know where that's going.
Yeah.
And now speaking at a media finance conference, the
Yeah.
commissioner of the NBA, Adam Silver, said star players get attention. He thinks Wemby is handling it incredibly well. I guess that's his nickname, Wemby.
He's a seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the interviews, I think on 60 Minutes a couple of weeks ago. And, yeah, I'm impressed with him. He seemed very, not your typical, I don't know. I don't want to go and say stereotype, but he's from France, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Europe, yeah.
Nothing to do with his nationality, but he just seems like a real
Are
nice
you saying
guy.
that French people have a
Yes.
Reputation.
have a reputation for being not nice?
I know that's the implication, but that's not true. That's not
Yeah.
true.
So,
They can be very rude too.
So can Americans.
Yeah,
True. Just be
yeah.
careful next time you're in Los Angeles. A ferocious-looking creature with a lot of teeth and 486 legs have been discovered in Southern California. It's a millipede
I was just gonna say
with
it sounds like a
486
spider.
legs.
Wow.
No, wait. How big is this thing?
Well, it's a millipede, so it's not very big.
You said something about teeth.
400, yeah, a lot of teeth. Let's see. It's white with green tint, translucent, has a frightening shaped head, glows in the dark, but there's nothing to worry about. It's as thin as a piece of sewing thread and about an inch long.
How do they count the legs?
I don't know. With a microscope. They live in the soil, weaving around and looking for food. The newly discovered
course.
invertebrate is related to lobsters and joins the 12,000 other millipede species that were previously known to scientists.
Millipede.
Nothing to worry about. If you see
I have
one,
the 4-leg rule. If it has more than 4 legs,
You step on
forget it.
Okay.
Anything with 4 legs or less, I will stop by the side of the road. I will help
Help
you.
out.
I will.
And you've done
you know, I've done it, but more than 4,
you're on your own.
that's it. Snake's okay. Reptile's fine.
Wow.
it. Really?
Yep.
Whoa.
Most don't like snakes either. All right, we've run out of time. We've come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for listening in. Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, there you are right there. And Romeo Bertham, thanks for coming in.
As always a pleasure.
All right, my name's
Yeah.
Joe Callahan.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Leslie Page at the Libraries coming up, followed by Food First with Karen Zangari. And we have the Tiki Bar tonight at 6 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
The Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management is reminding fishers about the dangers of smooth puffer fish. Now, these type of fish carry neurotoxins in their bodies that are deadlier than